Good to go. You are live. We are live.
We are live, guys. Post Road Podcast. You're rocking with Jules Nuclear and Colin Moulton. We're in the house. There we go. Set it up, DJ. We're gonna do things.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do things a little different.
We're gonna get dropped off YouTube for this if we don't.
Like
We have to,
demonetized.
stop it.
It's just
in a minute.
It's demonetized.
But you get the feeling.
Yeah. So you guys know this episode's about changes.
Life worth living, should I blast myself?
I'm tired of being poor and even worse than black. My stomach hurts. I'm looking for a purpose. Negro. He's a hero. Only be mouth on the welfare. Step back, watch us kill each other. That's what he said. 2 shots in the dark. Now he was dead. But we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We got to start making changes. Gotta see me as a brother instead of 2 distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. If he's close to me.
That's the way it is. Oh, that's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Oh, we love some Tupac. Yeah. Good to see you.
Good to see you, bro. Love you, man.
Love you.
Good to see you. And we're rocking the hats now, the winter hats.
Winter hats,
We're
baby.
We're out here.
42 degrees out.
Just like out of nowhere. It's like 2 days ago we were fine. We were hot.
Yeah, we were hot. We were hot.
Like 2 days ago. Now it's just like
we got winter jackets.
Winter jackets.
Like, I don't know. Do you want to go outside? I don't want to be outside.
I got my long johns on. I'm like, damn. Like, how to break out the long johns this early?
You're just bragging. I got medium johns. Jimmy's bragging about it the size of his John.
Johnny's.
You got big John.
Your John's still in the closet, okay? You didn't pour yours out yet.
He's got regular size John.
Here's a regular John.
I keep getting emails about getting bigger Johns.
If you like bigger Johns now,
are you upset about the size of your Johns?
Sorry, bro. I've got a size 30 waist. It is what it is.
Those are long Johns.
Those are long Johns, boy. Yeah, man. So what are we talking about today? What's good?
What's good? But we were talking about budgeting all week and all this, how it relates to jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But before we get into the serious stuff, I just wanted to say we've retooled the whole situation here, and I love it. I think it's really comfortable. It's
spacious.
Nice.
It's
cozy. Cool.
Yes,
this is our new jam. We're gonna do it this way.
It's really minimalistic too. You know, just got the table here, post it up.
And, I'm supposed to not reach down. He said it. Gotta hold this thing. So I gotta. He said
he's like this.
If I do this, I'm like, hey, and then I'm, one shot, bam.
Yeah. Could be super casual, just like right here.
Yeah, so it's a surprise podcast. We went and had breakfast, and then we were gonna do some work, and then we're like, would you rather podcast?
Right. We were at the Coffee of Friendship, guys. It was nice.
Yeah, Friendship Coffee is a killer
Coffee.
place. They have good food. It's on Wilmington Island. They're a sponsor.
Yeah,
because we ate their burritos.
Oh yeah, you guys are sponsors now. So
I should ask them if they want to sponsor our podcast. They won't, but they have really good stuff.
Who knows? Maybe they listen to it. They're like, "Yo, let's sponsor those guys."
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, we roll, go to Friendship, hang out for a second, come here.
Actually, that'd be really cool.
Dope,
I haven't even.
dope.
Yeah, I'm so bad at the social media stuff that like I don't go seek out sponsors for us or anything like that. I'm still like figuring out all the tools.
But you're such a good communicator, so it's like you just
I face to face I can sell anybody on anything. But then when it comes to like marketing on social media, people are like, "Why are you still on Facebook, dummy?"
Like,
what about TikTok?
What about Instagram Reels?
Wait a second, Instagram Reels is taking over TikTok.
I think so. I don't have a TikTok.
I think so.
So when I watch Reels, like it's on Instagram. Like, and they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Only it's easier on Instagram Reels.
And you're on your Instagram and you're on Reels. You don't have to go to a separate.
You know
app
what?
For it.
You know what I want to do on Reels for Timothy from my Barefoot Comedy podcast Instagram.
Plug that.
No, I want to do a Reels with the song "Mother" by Danzig. Do you know that song?
No.
Oh my gosh, I've been listening to this song.
We're just gonna play a bunch of songs for you guys and just hang out and sing them.
Yeah, here I'll open it up. Yeah, this is crazy. This song is so cool, and I forgot about it. There it is, right there.
Tybee Timothy.
Have you ever heard this song?
No.
Here, we'll do this. Mother. You never heard this? But it'd be perfect for Tybee Timothy because he lives with his mom.
It sounds familiar now.
Tell your children not to look my way.
Oh, I heard this.
Not to do my words, what they mean, what they say, mother. Yeah, it's like, metal. But
Yeah,
there's this one
like heavy.
line where he goes, "Father, do you want to bang heads with me? Do you want to feel everything? Father."
This man's got pipes. You got pipes.
Yeah. Not about to see your light. But if you want to bang heads with me, I will show you what it's like.
Hey.
Till you're bleeding.
Hey.
Oh, man.
Go off.
It's
Go
nuts.
off.
Yeah, it's just such a tough song. But I think of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
What during that song? Father, do
like
you want to bang
choking dude
heads
out.
with me? Yeah. Do you want to feel everything?
That's what we're doing on the mats with each other.
Yeah, man.
Like
Feeling
that brotherhood, that tight brotherhood bond. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could be listening to Ray Conniff singers or some old, whatever big band,
whatever it is.
So we think about jiu-jitsu.
That's what we do here. We just relate anything and everything to jiu-jitsu. So it's like
it's sort of perverted.
Like
it's constant.
We're gonna take this thing and perverse it.
Yeah, it's like
make it perverse.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like reaching because the people that listen apparently are having the same problem. Where everything's just jiu-jitsu. Hey, look who's here. Zaid. Ooh. Bro,
what's good?
Were you there when Jacob Couch smoked that dude?
Hey, Oaxaca. Shout out to Oaxaca, man. Shout out to Oaxaca.
Yeah, Oaxaca. Hey, Oaxaca.
Yeah, that's good.
Were you there? Hey, answer this in the comments, bro. Were you there? Were you there with Daisy Fresh when Couch beat that guy last? Did you see that on Flow Grappling?
I saw that.
Oh man,
he's coming up, Jacob.
That was wicked. That was a
beast.
nice like transition and series and chaining and bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, he's just flowing effortlessly through moves. It's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah,
and his ability to wrestle up and like use his guard at the same time, it's just incredible, man. Like,
yeah,
I was actually kind of inspired by a lot of his grappling.
He says, "Yes, of course."
Oh yeah,
why of course. That's the teammate.
That's squad.
Oh,
squad.
Hey, what about us? You weren't at my show. I do shows. You weren't there. I was your teammate once.
He doesn't rock with us no more.
Remember when I was your teammate, Zaid?
He doesn't rock with us no more.
You're like Ian, only with technique.
Yo, I want to know.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah. He's coming for you. He's almost in the chats. He's like gearing up right now to get in here.
Oh, he watched it in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if you're training with Mikey Zaid. That'd be cool.
Oh, Mikey's with them now.
Yeah, Mikey's with them.
Yeah, Zaid, are you training with Mikey Musamichi? I love that name. The pizza man?
Musamichi.
The pizza man? Musamichi.
Mikey Musamichi. It's Italian.
So what else do you want? You had some topics. And also, I wanted to do one quick one. Here we go. Should we do the thing? Okay, here we go. And you know what it's time for? Oh, it's the fake MMA news. That's Noticias Falsificadas. That's the news that is not real, and we made it up. But now that you've heard it, you can't unhear it. This is a repeat, but a good one. High Rollers, the promotion that promotes marijuana and jiu-jitsu together.
Got it, Stone Roll.
What a great concept.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling
Stones, baby.
And could use a little higher production value. But anyway, they've started a new promotion for MMA called MMMA, Mixed Martial Arts.
Oh, word.
Which is they promote the use of methamphetamine prior to your rolls. It'll be prior to your fights. It'll be 20 30-second rounds. And in between rounds, they'll completely clean the cage each time. And the competitors. And since all the competitors come without front teeth, they're going to use all the money that they saved on mouthpieces to buy Sudafed. And that's it for the fake MMA news. Noticias Falsificadas. It's the news that's not news because we made it up. But now that you've heard it,
you can't unhear it.
That's it, dog.
That's dope. I like that.
That's the new format. We're gonna do one of those each podcast.
It's pretty cool.
So you had a bunch of topics you want to talk about too.
Oh man, just micro topics. Just
you want to do the budgeting thing? I think the budgeting thing is great.
I mean, we already talked about that. We talked about making.
Did we talk about it on the podcast?
We kind of did. I mean, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We didn't relate it to jiu-jitsu, but we talked about budgeting. Yeah.
Here's the deal with budgeting, and we realize us talking about it together. I've always had an issue with budgeting. Budgeting's not easy. Consistently budgeting your own money and time and all this, but mainly money. It's tantamount to, or exactly analogous to, these are stupid words. It's
He's
just
throwing
like
words out there, Disha.
it's just like in jiu-jitsu when you're controlling, you have to get to the position to be able to submit, or else you're playing catch. So you have to be able to learn to control. And I think at the higher levels, you start learning how to control your opponent. You get to the position where you can control them, then you control them. You don't give anything up as you bring yourself into position to submit, and then you submit the person. That's what budgeting is. Financial control on the way to the submission or the win, the victory, the savings.
Yeah, and I love the way you put it about catching. If you're not controlling, you're just like playing catch, right? You're like, opening, you open and close, open and close. You've got to be in it. You got to be present. And it's interesting how you're talking about budgeting your energy and your time, because time is money. So it's like, it's mostly your time, because your time can become anything. In fact, someone's 10 years and someone else's 10 years are completely different. So how I'm using my time on the mats versus you, maybe when you're in there, you're not like training consciously.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you can be training all the time and doing it wrong and getting nowhere.
Yeah.
And what's the point?
Creating all these negative, bad habits. Because
then you got to unlearn.
Oh, man.
So you're costing you double time.
Double time. A lot of people are on double, triple time even.
I'm
like,
triple.
It's like, no way.
I'll be spending money just like my jiu-jitsu, some random stuff.
Who's
Zaid?
He does.
Playing catch. He does.
He's playing catch. He's buying all kinds of
same
stuff.
thing over and over. Just keep buying those Oculus Rift goggles over and over.
It broke. I
got the new ones. But yeah, that's what, to me, I feel like I just didn't, it was the same with my jiu-jitsu. I wasn't aware of the control element.
Yeah.
And money's got to happen that way, or else it just like slips out of your hands. It's constantly just floating around. Like you said, you're not getting anywhere with it. You can do it all you want.
Right.
You spend the money, you use the money, you whatever, but you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah. It's a serious problem, because time management, I think, has always been one of my flaws. Is managing my time, because I just kind of I tend to throw it in which direction that I'm like, I see a vision in that. And sometimes it's like the lack of priority. I think in jiu-jitsu, you really have to consider priority. If you want to budget, because you're like, okay, this grip is more important than that grip, so I need to make sure I break this now and control here before I move. The priority is out of whack. The order isn't consistent, and it's not systematic. There's no approach. And I think sometimes that can waste your time and if you don't have a budget, you don't really know where you're going.
Yeah.
And it seems like once I started to get the hang of that in jiu-jitsu, it really helped me in my ability to control, because you know where to put certain things and you put the importance in it. Like this week, we're doing back attack stuff, right? So James is
that's been really good, by the way.
Incredible. James is, man, I think sometimes we I don't know, not we, maybe no one, maybe we all have an appreciation that is understood, but man, people who started with James and have never trained with anybody else, or don't really know what other gyms are like, I guess, that they don't have an experience of that. Maybe we take it for granted, but he's an incredible teacher and communicator, and the way he can express his art and his thought about it, his knowledge through his body, the way he moves and the way he feels, man, it's super consistent. Sometimes you might hear somebody talk about something, but then you're like, well, you're not living that. When James teaches it, like, he literally does it in the next role.
Yeah, he was saying that.
He was saying that last class.
Yeah,
because he does. Yeah. He said it last night too.
Oh yeah. Then after he teaches it, then he catches all that.
He was rolling with Brian, purple belt Brian, leg locking Brian.
Trucking Brian,
man. He just keeps trucking along.
Talk some trash about that guy.
I just have to avoid his leg locks. I'm like, man. Because Brian, but sometimes it's fun to get into the leg lock game with Brian, because he really understands it, and he's got these really long, lanky legs.
Yeah,
they're very similar to mine. I'm like, dang, this is really annoying.
Oh yeah.
I get a taste of my own medicine.
It's true, man. He's threatened me with a couple good triangles before, but usually it's the truck that gets me. He'll get my one hip and control it from just like the stuff we've been working on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh, man.
He's got some super sticky hooks too. Like, shout out to Brian. Like, he's got sticky hooks. But he was rolling with James last night, and James literally did the truck on him, and it was like, well, he said it to somebody. He said it to Mark Waller. He's like, well, I just taught it like 5 minutes ago.
Fresh in my mind.
Yeah, it's fresh in my mind. So yeah, he's a testament to the way to think about jiu-jitsu, to go back to.
Hey, let's say this then. Let's do this then. How about this? Thank you to our sponsor, GJJSAV, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Savannah, the best place in the world to train the best martial art in the world, under the best dude in the world, under the best other dude in the world, the best dude in the world, who was under the best dude who's not in the world, and then also in the best place in the world, with the best friends in the world, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, in this world, like, we're just
in the world,
in the
best
world.
Temperature in the world now, because we're like,
because we're chilling.
Time to chill.
Yeah. Everybody was hot and slow. And I was like, no, you got to move. Get the shaking. Do what you got to do so you can keep warm. Get the shaking.
I love it. Do the chain. Put in the thing. Zaid, you must be freezing. It's probably snowing where you are. But like, I love the transition into fall here in Savannah because it's not horrible. We get surf. The surf starts coming in. Like we went surf this morning, and me and my son Grayson, who's had his birthday, by the way. It's his 13th birthday.
13?
He's a man, and we don't have. You know what? It's a bummer. We don't have in cisgender white America,
like
whatever I'm doing.
Mitzvahs are like coming to age.
We don't have any of that.
Yeah, we don't.
Good coming of age cultural stuff.
Coming of age. Yeah.
In African culture, it's huge. Yeah. In Jewish culture, it's huge. In all these, different cultures are more like refined in that way. They have these coming of ages, and it's like we've lost that. I don't know. I mean, I guess people do it in a way, but
I think we're also in a different time now where there's a lot of people or their ideas or there's no particular way of being. So how can you come to age of something that it's so fluid now, So I think with the way things are getting, it's like everything's getting smeared. Like there's a bunch of colors by themselves, and it's all getting super smeared even more and more.
Smeared?
Yeah, like I think
that's a Jewish word too. That's smear.
Bagel smear.
Bagel smear.
Yeah, bagel smear.
Smeared like on a bagel. Yeah, I can see it.
In fact, my fun fact, I was smearing bagels when I met James.
You were smearing.
I was smearing when I met James.
That was a coming of age.
Yes.
See, that was your bar mitzvah. See what I'm saying? So
he really connected that.
my son, we've been verbalizing it. So this is what we do with our 13-year-old. We verbalize the coming of age. So he's like, he's been more responsible lately. And so when I gave him his phone, he's never had a phone. Jimmy and I went to the thing and we got him an iPhone mini together. And because I'm an older guy. And I'm like, what does he need?
Yeah, right. What does my son need?
Young man, help me out here. So we got him this iPhone mini 12 and dude, you should have seen his face last night. Yeah, he couldn't stop.
Was he lit up?
Well, because my kids get a birthday weekend, which is a little opulent, but so the night before I knew he wanted to surf the next whatever. Anyway, so the night before I gave him his surfboard that I got him, which is this really killer surfboard. We did it over dinner and then we gave him these like joke gifts. And I'm like, this is all we had.
How did you do it at the dinner table? Did you like take all the food out clear the table? Surfboard.
No, we gave him like all these fake gifts, like a bag, gift bag with like Takis and goldfish, a big thing of goldfish. I go, here, you can put this by your bed, and then a deck of cards.
He was looking at you like,
and a deck of cards.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Do you imagine a deck of cards? So, and I'm like, here you go, man. And he opened it up and he's like, oh, okay, great. And I go, listen, your sister just had a birthday and a lot's been going on. And that's, so we kind of got behind. That's what I said. And
now, knowing that and going back to the deck of cards, like, here, buddy, go ahead.
Here, I know how much you love these. And that's what I told him. And I was trying to sell him on the cards funny. As the main gift, and he was looking at me like, holy crap, is this really happening? And then
he's questioning his whole life, like, what have I been doing? Do they not love me?
He goes, oh yeah, these are, and he was in his defense, he's like, oh, right on, man, I can learn some tricks with it.
What a guy.
Poor guy. So then I go, hang on a second. I go, I get up from the table and I run outside, get a surfboard, and then I walk in and I'm standing there and he's like trying to open his cards and he's not looking up, and I'm standing there with a surfboard and my wife has her camera on and everybody's like videotaping this, and I'm standing there with the surfboard in the kitchen and he's like trying to he can't get his cards open, and I can see he's like bummed that he can't get them open, but also bummed that he is trying at all, that he has them. He's like,
and I can't open this stupid.
He's like, just get my cards and stupid cards open. And I go, Grayson, do you see it? And he goes, yes. And he's like, I go, no, do you see this? And I finally turns and looks. He's like, whoa, what is that? What is that? And it was the exact board.
Oh.
Here's what happened. We were in Hatteras and we went through, we had been surfing all weekend up there, and we found this really cool place to surf. And then on the way out of town, it's like the nighttime, it's like almost closed. We went to the best surf shop on the East Coast called Real Water Sports. Huge place. And we talked to these guys there. We're like, he's this size and we have these small waves down there, and Tybee, and we got to kind of like get him a better board that like fits him. And this guy walked him through all the different dynamics and the sizes of the thicknesses and the lift and the tail and all this stuff. And we kind of settled on this one board. It took a lot lot of pictures of different boards and sizes, but the one that we really settled on was like a $790 board. This really expensive board called a Hydra, a Lost Hydra. And it had these, I took a picture of the dimensions, and then we got back here and I started looking it up on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, this one kind of matches, and that one kind of matches. And then I'm looking, and then all of a sudden it pops up a Lost Hydra, a used Lost Hydra that it was like a month old.
You're like fixing to make this whole thing for him and recreate it. And it's right here.
I was going to try to find like some crappy knockoff version of what we got size wise, but it was this really nice
like
board.
OG. Like
it was the one. So I call the guy and I go, what happened? I go, what happened that you got to sell this board? And he goes, I moved down from Cape Hatteras, from up there.
Yeah.
And I moved down here, and the waves are too small for me for this board because I'm 180 pounds. And I'm like, oh, I'm buying it for my son. Where'd you buy it? And he goes, Real Water Sports. And I look at the measurements. It's the exact same measurements. Damn. It's the exact same board.
That's like a miracle, man.
And I bought it for half the price. I mean, it was crazy.
Dang.
Yeah. And so I hit it at my friend's house, and then
and he just looks up from his cards,
like, from his crappy gift.
What? Thought the thing on the ground.
He couldn't believe it, dude. And then he was like glowing, and he this is a cool thing because this never happens with him. He has no, as I think Norm Macdonald said once about Dave Letterman, he has no truck for the sentimental. Just my son.
Truck for the sentimental.
Have you ever heard that term?
No.
Has no truck for the sentimental. Means he doesn't like hugs and crying and thank yous and apologies and all that stuff is very foreign to him. He's very guarded.
Just sentimental. Yeah, just sentimental. Yeah.
So he looks at me and he goes, "This is really sick. This is really sick.
Yeah, I got emotional.
Thank you so much." And then he reached over to hug me, and I just started bawling, dude.
Wow.
Because I remember wanting stuff and not being able to get it, and he got it, and he was like, and he goes, "Don't cry, just stop crying."
Oh.
We had the best moment, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
With the teenager, with your
because we don't. He and I don't get those a lot. We
Yeah.
don't do a lot of that emotional stuff. So having that moment and having him open up to it like that was super special.
And that's great because you're such a loving person too.
Yeah,
tell people you love them all the time. Like
I want to cry all the time. Yeah,
so, hey, man,
I only get to do it every once in a while when someone else is willing.
Are you gonna let me cry, bro? Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to go sit in my office and cry alone. That's creepy. That's like being a drunk where you drink alone.
Drinking alone. Yeah, that's like crying alone. Like,
I'm an emotional holic or whatever.
Find somebody to cry with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the night before. So then last night we did the whole gift thing, and again because it's his actual birthday last night.
Oh really? Oh
yeah. So we did dinner.
Okay.
We did a birthday dinner. Mama made a birthday dinner. We had been surfing, and so we came back on the new board. We came back and had dinner. And we're eating dinner together, all of us, the kids and everybody. And then we did the gifts with Gray, and we did everybody else's gifts. Grandma and everybody else had sent. And then we did the FaceTime stuff you do. And then it was all done. And he's like, "Oh, I got a cool watch." And so he's stoked.
He was lit up.
And I'm like, right on. Super. And then I went and snuck in, and I put this bag on the table that a gift bag with the phone in it that you and I got. And
to top it off,
right? It's just sitting there.
What?
It's just sitting there. And I go, "Did you open that one?" And he goes, "What? Oh." What do you mean? Did I open it? And I go, well, I don't know. It's just sitting there.
You didn't
see that one?
Yeah.
Like snuck it in. And that's when he pulled out the phone, dude. He's like, wait. And he goes, well, and I had done this. So this blew him away.
Man.
This distracted him. I had taken a picture of my eyeball and put it on his home screen so that it looked like I was always watching him as a joke, right? Yeah. So he opens it up and it's my eyeball looking up from a phone. And he's like, haha. He goes, that's funny. He thought that was the joke, and it was my phone with my eyeball.
Oh, wow. He didn't realize.
He thought I was joking.
He didn't realize it was his phone.
No. Yet. And I go, no, grab the phone. And he grabs it, and he goes, cool. Yeah, I get it. It's eyeball. I go, no, son, that's your phone. And he goes, right. Yeah, it's looking at me. It's looking at me. I go, no, that's your phone.
Oh,
yours. Oh, He's never had a phone before. I go, that's your phone. He goes, wait a minute. What do you mean my phone? I go, it's yours.
He's in like, denial,
dude. He couldn't accept the fact that he had a phone. Yeah, he's like, wait, wow, I don't get it. I go, it's yours to have.
Damn. On top of getting the surfboard,
yes!
on top of the party, on top of the dinner, like
isn't that cool?
You've never had a phone before? Yeah, here you go, 13, get it.
I just feel like 13 was a big deal. I wanted to make it special.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
And it did. And then you feel it from them where they're like, where they can appreciate something you did and they treat you like, I want you to know, I'm not saying it out loud exactly, but I want you to know that I appreciate what you're doing.
I just love the way you parent. Because
Really,
dude,
that's just gift giving.
no, I mean,
that is.
Look. I mean, if you have problems with your kids, or like say you guys have a certain relationship, but you're just always pouring in love.
Oh, right.
You just continuously pour in love. You know, sometimes I think parents and like child and parent relationships can get, you know, weaker over time because I don't know, stubbornness or whatever. Or, you know, like, but you just keep on pouring the love, and I think that's what makes a good parent. I mean, yeah, that's basic. That's gift giving, but like
that's kind of how you and I, personality wise, how we what we default to, isn't it?
Yeah, whether it's giving our time, giving materials, giving things, like, yeah, just
that's our default, which makes it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good parenting trait, but it's not like I thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, it came from your heart, which is even better.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love that. I love that.
That's cool.
There's always love being poured in, and it changes people when you give them love.
It does,
especially when they feel unloved or they don't love themselves. Yeah, to feel that love from somebody else, to remind them like, yo, I love you, I care about you. You need to love yourself and respect yourself and all these things. It just adds to it. It's just very,
especially if it's genuine. Here's the double-edged sword of that is that if it's not genuine and you're just like kind of doing it to do it, then it's the opposite of good because it's patronizing or something, or it seems selfish for the giver.
Just for gains. Like,
see what I'm saying? So it's almost detrimental to the person that you're pretending to love or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're not really giving pure love, if you don't know how to do it and you're not doing it just in a way that's like real, like I just want the best for you, then it has a different feel to it, and it feels like manipulation, and it has the opposite effect on the person. Do you agree? On the receiver,
I agree 100%. Like fake love,
it has the opposite effect. It closes the person off more because they feel unsafe. You know, like they can't trust people because that's manipulation. So they have this new experience of being manipulated by someone they thought that cared for them. Wow. See what I'm saying? No, so that's why it's super important it's a responsibility to love somebody the right way.
It's our responsibility to love.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm guilty of it. Where like I'm not feeling it, but I'm like, you know, even in like love relationships, marriages and stuff, we do that. My wife and I sometimes where I'm like, oh, I got to show some love here or whatever. Like, you know, and I'll catch myself saying I love you when I'm not really meaning it. Yeah, that's not good. Can't do that.
Would you then say like pettiness or someone being petty and with someone they love, like that can be a way of you, I guess, shutting your love off, like the channels of love that you have between someone else when there's air of pettiness, you know what I mean? Like, or you resent somebody for something and then you're petty about it and you're not willing to just, you know, to not be stubborn and yield to whatever it is. Like, what does that show? What do you think about that? Because I see that happen a lot too. Especially growing up, I saw a lot of
closed off.
Yeah,
you mean like not opening yourself up?
Yeah, just like, you know, get into an argument and then there's like love is
no apology,
just no love,
no ownership, no accountability, dude. It's what we always talk about. It's accountability, and if you can be emotionally accountable in your relationships, then you can maintain them.
Facts.
Because even if you screw up, no matter how bad things are, you can always maintain that relationship if you stay accountable. If you're like, listen, you know, I screwed. We do it in jiu-jitsu where you're rolling with somebody. I make mistakes, man. I mean, like I held on to a guy the other day, no names, but I was like during our back take stuff and I was holding a choke at a weird angle, like too long. And he was trying to get out. So the combination of me holding that choke in a non-choking way and like thinking, hey, I'm going to pull it in this direction. This works. And he's like trying to twist out and being stiff in one way. And I got his shoulder blocked. It ended up kind of tweaking his neck. And he's like, God, he goes, it wasn't really a choke. And he like was kind of mad about it. And I don't blame him.
What
and belt? I felt really bad.
What belt was he? Purple?
And so I felt bad, but I mean, you know, you automatically you think, well, he should have known better, blah, blah, blah. But I should have known better than to keep that choke at a weird angle. Sure. I should have just let go of that and moved on. But I was holding it thinking maybe I can finish it at a different angle. And that was a dumb thing for me to do, knowing that his neck is in jeopardy. Yeah. So I had to be accountable. The point is the accountability was critical. I shouldn't have put myself him in that position in the first place. But I also needed to then on the mat say to him and demonstrate to him several times, I'm concerned about your neck. I'm sorry I did that.
Just
that
was
wrong.
Yeah.
Let him know. Like, hey man, you know, that was me. Sorry. And he kept saying, no, don't worry about it. He's a little standoffish. So he always, you know, if this kind of thing comes up, I always feel like I'm annoying him. But if I say this, but I was like, dude, are you okay? Is your neck all right? I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm sorry I did that, you know, because it's accountability.
Of course. I
don't want to be like, oh, fuck that guy, you know, whatever.
Because he's gonna be like, oh, like Colin, I don't fuck with Colin, you know, just.
Yeah. I just, regardless of whether or not he even forgives me or any of that other stuff, I got to do that and hold myself accountable and be in the practice of doing that, so that when I step outside of my limits of what I believe is good and right by accident, even, I still know that, like, my reaction. It's like when you drill, your body moves the right way with jiu-jitsu when you drill a lot. If you don't drill, you got to think about it, then do it. Same thing for this. Accountability has to be drilled.
Because you want this like unconscious response to life. Right.
So in a marriage or a love relationship, same thing. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, of course. I'd say definitely, even more so, because it's in a relation, it's an intimate relationship. On the mats,
everybody's vulnerable.
Yeah, super vulnerable. I mean, we're actively attacking one another, so like anything is vulnerable.
Dude, that's
at
a
any
marriage.
time.
It's a marriage. Dude. Same.
Constantly attacking each other.
Well, sort of. I mean, you're constantly vulnerable to each other.
True. So the potential of attack, or maybe even an unconscious one. One where one's not really flowing in their present mind, and they say something out of offhand, or they do something that might be harmful or hurtful, and they don't realize it. Maybe unbeknownst to them, they were hurtful, or inadvertently they were hurtful. That happens a lot.
I used to think that alcoholism, like overt alcoholism, where people drink a ton of alcohol at one time, and they get blacked out drunk together as a couple, and then they wake up in the morning. They have this ability to say, we were hammered, and whatever, and they don't want to. It's a glass house, so they don't want to hold each other accountable. So they or themselves, so they just kind of forgive each other and move on. But I felt like what I was going to get at here is that I felt like the worst thing you can do is be a little buzzed. The real thing that chips away at a marriage or relationship, in my experience, is having 3 glasses of wine and saying that thing you might not say that's just like subtly hurtful, but you don't have that "I was hammered" excuse. That was you, dude.
Yeah, that was
saying the thing you feel.
Yep.
So now you better deal with that, or if you don't, you got a problem. Like, that's a real thing. And I feel like the afternoon wine drinking and all that stuff, that opens the door.
No.
But it's that maintenance 3-4 glasses of wine in the evening and that kind of thing that, in my experience, I'm definitely traumatized by alcoholic people from childhood. But and it's a trigger for me, but I would say that's where the real damage comes in. Is that because you can't say, wow, that guy was trash, did you hear all the weird stuff? And you can't be like, hey, I'm gonna make a change, that's the wrong way to live. But he literally just was being him.
That's his person on the daily,
what he really thinks of you.
And
that's bad.
And it's a truth serum, really. Like, when people are drinking, like what they're saying is honest. Bro, it's interesting to me when I'm on the mats and I'm thinking about the same thing about accountability, and I'm like, well, me being a brown belt or whatever, I'm rolling with this white belt. Like, for instance, I was telling you guys the story at Friendship Coffee, and I was like, I'm rolling with this guy. He's 51 years old. He's brand new, and he's like thrashing around because we're doing, the back attack exercises and stuff. He's thrashing around, moving around, and I'm not gonna put him in a vulnerable state, but I'm gonna let him move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a moment where he really drove into me, and I was like, man, if I hold him here in this control position, he's going to twist his own body. So I went with it. And then afterwards, I talked to him about it, used longevity. I sounded like Pedro. I was channeling my inner Pedro. Pedro has this longevity talk at every seminar.
Sustainability.
And it's great. I love hearing it. I think everybody in the room at that time is always needing to hear it.
Yeah.
I think all of us at any time are always needing to be reminded about longevity and what we're doing. Because I think we get unconscious with our bodies, and that's why we're all hurting. Like, well, you should have conceded there.
Yeah.
Like, you should have just backed off there. You should have yielded there. But there's this moment of like tension because we had to get it. We had to get it. And I'm noticing now I'm rolling with James, and we're having such fun rolls.
Because you're supple.
Yeah. Super supple. I have to be. Because
supple technique.
Because he's a crafty dude, and anything he does, definition of micro adjustments, and you won't even notice James is making them. Like, I mean, and he's so like assertive with the micro adjustment. It's like he's just deliberate.
He's always there. He's just there.
When he's passing your guard, it's a deliberate guard pass. It's not like it's like, it's just shifting angles, cutting and finding ways around, so it feels almost overwhelming. But it's because his decision making is quick.
It's like
overwhelming.
It's like you're fighting a fish.
Just like
with
moving.
Legs. You know what I'm saying? Like how fish move.
You're fighting a whole.
They move quick and deliberately. That's how it feels for a cat.
I mean, you want to be slippery, and he feels slippery everywhere, especially when you're on top of him. I'm like, dang, you're slippery. If I put my weight over here at all, he's gonna take advantage of it because he's just so connected and feeling. So I've adopted that, and now when I train with him, I'm like loosening up moments.
More simple.
I'm not all like holding tension in my arms. What I used to do is hold a lot of tension in my biceps,
Mhm.
and I noticed that my arms would burn out.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm lat pulling so hard, I'm holding on to something so hard, and that's what burns us out the most. Is
Oh, yeah.
the grip game.
Well, this back take week has been gnarly for me because my the rotator cuff outer tendons here, these guys,
Yeah.
I guess that's what they are. These tendons, they're like fully inflamed right now from holding people in position.
Oh yeah,
we do that drills.
butterfly.
It's like we do the
Yeah.
butterfly grip from the back with a seatbelt, and I'm like, trying to like get the feel for like how much control you have for the upper body
Yeah.
if you lose the hips. And so we're doing that as a drill, and I find myself like really stressing these tendons. So I'm taking a couple days because I went to push.
Rest that. Like
I was in public, dude, and I went to like push a door open, and my tendon was like, "No, you're not doing that." So as I literally slammed my face right into a glass door. It looked like I couldn't push the door, and everybody would like gasp. It's like, "Is that guy okay?"
Look over slowly, like,
wait, that guy can't push open a door.
Get your life together, man.
He looked so fit.
He came in here with his shirt off, and
yeah,
he was flexing.
Jiu-jitsu shirt on. He looks like a tough guy, and he can't even open a door.
Says tap out on it.
Yeah, then he like limps in. Hey, can you lift my bagel?
Weakling.
If you could please bring that to my car.
He's just like
Paul says weakness, Colin Moulton.
Damn! Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Goon Panda. Miss him on the podcast.
Speaking of strength, yeah. But the point is that like the gripping and the holding. So I've noticed that what you said about Jimmy and I mean about James, I did that with my last roll with James because we were rolling pretty much daily for a few days at least, and I don't normally do that with him. But I just kept jumping right in first thing. Like, hey, how's it going? Let's go. And then I was doing
slap
it
and bump
because I was fresh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's go. And I thought I can be conscious now here. I'm not in the habit of holding, doing whatever. I can be consciously supple. And so I was consciously supple in the first half of every round with him. Then eventually he, through the dominance and whatever was happening, I would start to hold up a little more, and then I have to like fight my mind. And so that's what I'm grappling with right now, literally and physically, is being supple with him because I did better when I was supple.
Yeah. And that's the art of yielding to win. And Pedro says it all the time. It's like yield to win. You gotta sometimes let people move. Most of the time, honestly, because they're gonna go. They're gonna go.
Relationships, wedding, marriages, same.
It's
love relationships.
And it's funny because James says this a lot too, and this is kind of how he lives. I think it's I adopt it. It's letting people's true color fly, like letting people be themselves so you can see the truth about them. I think, and that's a good way to have good perception and follow your intuition a little bit more because you're not trying to control the situation. You're letting it move and see what direction it's going to go, and you're feeling where its power is coming from, so you know how to offset. And that's pretty much what you're doing in jiu-jitsu, especially when you're on the top. Like, you got to know, or I'm sorry, when you're on the bottom too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Both really, because you got to know where the bottom guy is getting his bridge power from, or the direction, or the direction of which his force is coming from. You're like, oh, his foot's right there. If I angle this way slightly, he can't drive into me. He might still do it because he's kind of he's impatient.
Yeah.
Like, and because when you're putting pressure on people, it forces people to, it puts a sense of urgency on them, and they make decisions that aren't the best because they got to do it now. Otherwise, they're going to continue to suffer, and their brain just makes that decision. And so you're trying to offset people's decision making by tricking them.
Yeah, and his understanding of jiu-jitsu is so advanced right now that he's able to think about the psychology of the person he's rolling with and the decision they will make when he puts certain pressures on.
Yes.
And this person will do this, not just a person, but this person
who I'm rolling with you.
Good
Hot
Lord.
slap and bump.
He's doing that in a split second all the time.
He's in the matrix.
That's matrix.
Yeah, that's jiu-jitsu matrix. A lot of high level guys are there. And that's really where I aspire to keep my mind. Sometimes I do get caught up in the battle, and especially when I go to competitions, like I get caught up in like the fight of it. And you're
fighting a person, not this person.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm living mostly in my body, and my conscious mind isn't really working that much sometimes when the adrenaline and that anxiety comes up. So it's like really mastering your adrenaline and your anxiety levels and being able to manage your cortisol levels under stress and duress. Now you're good. Now everything you've learned in class can actually flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because our bodies know a lot of this stuff. If we just drill it, our bodies can feel it.
So it's like we're trying to get to the bliss of being dumb and not caring.
Yeah.
Because we're smart and we care.
Right,
but we're trying to do it while being smart and caring. So it's true, though.
It's like we're parenting ourselves at any time.
But do you know what I mean? Like how blissful that is to just a dumb guy who doesn't care. isn't gonna be caught up in any of this stuff.
It's not gonna be hung up on anything. They're just gonna move.
Yeah.
Gonna
There
go.
is. Yeah, there's.
That's why there's a balance, because you have to be able to be cautious too. Take caution as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just some
Can't be totally dumb.
You can't be walking out to the street. You could. You could, and then just get subbed like 25 times.
Yeah, but I have a bit in my act right now about being rich and dumb would be the best way to be rich. Dumb and rich is the best way. You don't want to be smart and rich.
Yeah, and then you're like, I got these problems.
You just got the guilt of being rich. You got to be doing philanthropic work all the time to be able to sleep at night. But if you're dumb and rich, and people tell you, there's a lot of people who don't have resources, and you're like, oh, they're sad. Let them look at my yacht. That makes me happy. I'm dumb and rich. I don't give a shit.
All the smart people are like, I got to do philanthropic work. I got to make sure
and they feel bad about being rich. Yeah. That's where it's like, the dumber. Yeah.
Or they're like, I'm smart. I'm going to buy this yacht. We're going to go do this, do that, invest here, bam.
Nothing smart about buying a boat. I don't think. It's crazy.
Really?
Have you ever heard of Freedom Boat Club?
No.
I want to do this so bad. All
What's that?
Freedom Boat Club, you buy for $6,000, you buy a membership, and it's like all up and down the East Coast, and then $350 a month is the maintenance of it, right? So it's a one-time $650.
So you're shelling out cash on that
one time $6,000. Yeah. Then you spend $350 a month to maintain your membership. That's it. Now you go to Freedom Boat Club, Savannah Boat House over here on Bull River, and they got 50 boats right now. They're going to have another 20 by the end of the month, I think.
Wow.
And they're all like $30,000 to $80,000 boats. They're all like really good, nice new boats, and you can go there, pick any one of them, and pay for gas only, and you go out on that boat, and that's your boat. You can get for the day or whatever.
Word?
Yeah, word.
I mean, that's definitely the move. Like, why
that's
would you buy
the move.
If you could just like ride out with your $80,000, you can rent that very easily.
What?
If you're renting it just for gas, pretty much the whole boat.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's just like if you need to make a music video, you need anything.
No, it's your boat.
Jiu-jitsu boat cruise going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get like they're not yachts, but they're like there's a couple bigger ones you got to pay extra, I think, a premium for. But mostly they're like little center console boats or like pontoon party boats and stuff like that. And you just go and you schedule it and take it out. You hit them on the schedule it. Or you can call them and say, hey, do you have any boats available? And they're like, oh yeah, today's a light day. So you just go there and then you just pay for the gas on it in and out. There's no cleaning fees or any of that. It's all just taken care of.
So you're like, why would I buy a boat if I can just go?
I could have
Freedom Boat Club,
different kinds of boats available. Isn't that cool?
Instead, you spent like $10,000 on this one boat, and you're like, cleaning it, maintenance, all that stuff.
That's right. And then the motor blows. Right. Then you got a boat in your yard.
The motor is the most expensive part of the boat, anyways.
Yeah. That happens all the time. And then if you keep it and you're like, I don't want it in my yard because I want to enjoy my yard, you got to spend between $200 and $400 a month anyway, just storing it.
Or you could keep it in your yard and flex the boat.
Oh yeah. And just hang out on your boat.
Your yard.
Who does that?
Just imagine.
Yeah, like a Corvette on blocks. You just sit in it.
Post it up in the Corvette.
Nice Corvette.
Damn,
yeah,
I know.
Too bad it doesn't run ever.
I drive it for you, but I can't right
now. For philanthropic reasons. I don't believe in petrochemicals. So, also it's broken.
So I'm not. Yeah, exactly. I'm not emitting any fuels. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to increase my carbon footprint, so I don't drive it. Also, the motor's blown. But that's also that ain't like the real reason. No, that's the real reason I care about Earth, girl.
F boy supreme.
Girl. So we go on a date in my Corvette, but we can't leave the driveway. You know what I'm saying?
We can eat in the back seat if you want. I can lower these seats, and I got butterfly suicide doors.
A little bit of that FaceTime, girl. Come on. In my vet.
You see these suicide doors? You see the way this door opens? I don't need to drive this thing.
We're gonna get busy in the vet. We ain't gonna leave the driveway.
Try and get
for
busy
the
in the vet.
Earth. Come on.
It's philanthropic, baby.
Sit with me in my broken down vet for Mother Earth.
It's Earth Day.
We're gonna save the planet together, girl. You feel that?
I'm Captain Planet in this.
Why is it? This voice, this character I use.
I think it's perfect for it. Yeah.
He does a lot of real sketchy stuff, doesn't he?
He's out in the Corvette in the alley. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you in the Corvette alley? I got stuck here.
Are you gonna do the black belt, brown belt roll tonight?
Nah, I don't think we're gonna go out.
No one's going.
It ends at 8, and so I'm gonna be at the gym until 6, starting at 1, and then it's like an hour to drive out there. I know. Are you going? I think it's 2 to 6. Damn. Brown belt. Go.
I don't know. I don't want to get hurt. I want to do like
get hurt.
I'm the white belt.
Oh, you're the
in
white
that
thought in that situation, really?
Yeah. No, that's not it. It's just my tendons. I want to rest them for real.
My tendons.
My tendons
Ooh,
are.
my tendons.
Don't you? Don't you? We all. Don't you hate? Were you ever that guy that complained about his injuries? I was joking with you the other day. You're like, my butt hurts. He kept saying, I was like, you want to talk about your butt all day?
I mean, yeah, doing squats, man, back squats, you know.
But there's always that guy that's like, oh, I got a knee thing in my shoulder. I don't want to ever be that guy, but I think I was once.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a hypochondriac, so like anything.
But you don't talk about it, do you?
Sometimes.
Dude, I saw you get.
When I'm sick, sometimes I'm like I'm babied when I'm sick. I'm like, oh, I'm sick. I got exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It helps me feel better.
That's what you do to feel better?
I don't know why it does that. It's like,
oh, really?
It does the
like
opposite.
Medicine?
Yeah, it's like, and then
like,
and then I heal quicker. I'm like, you know what? I feel. It's like
maybe you were gonna heal either way. Being a bitch ain't helping. Oh no, man! I don't need that medicine. I just act like a bitch.
I'm good. Nah, pity party. Ooh, and I get healed.
Yeah,
it could be there.
Could be. I saw you as Uki with James.
Yeah,
you got your shoulder locked out. He like exploded in this one thing. You're like, ah! And he's like, oh, sorry, you okay? Just like 2 days ago, right?
It was. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was applying a shoulder lock.
But he smacked your
from the triangle.
Yeah, from the triangle, and he said like, he smacked the end of your arm and like the leverage.
He just it was sudden. He just grabbed.
I know.
I was like, what the?
You're like, ah! I was like, oh God, I hope he's okay. I just keep thinking one of these times something's gonna pop.
I just felt something and I was like, oh snap. And then I was like, oh, I'm good.
So it wasn't all the way.
It was
he was just doing it for demonstration purposes, but it wasn't all the way in.
No, I felt it.
Oh shit.
I felt
it did stretch that tendon.
Yeah, but I think I adapted to it in the moment. Like immediately, I just like I just relaxed.
Yeah, I just feel like one time you guys are gonna be drilling some move and one of your body parts is just gonna come apart.
James is super sensitive to that too. And if that happens, he like adjusts the way he's grabbing. And sometimes he's got his arms around my neck and he's like just explaining the choke.
It just looks tight.
And he's kind of choking me actually. Yeah. And he can tell by the way I'm breathing, like the way I'm opening my lungs. And he's like, oh snap, am I choking Jimmy right now? And he doesn't interrupt the explanation of the technique. He just keeps going. But he
releases it.
He makes the adjustments. Yeah. No, we have this like unspoken communication.
Yeah, don't kill me.
Yeah,
is that the unspoken communication?
Keep me alive here, dog. I'm trying to keep the flow right. I'm not trying to be like.
What up with LW Jimmy? What's LW Jimmy?
LW Jimmy.
I don't know. You call him Dragon Paul.
Who's that?
His name's Dragon.
Yeah. Talking about. I saw Paul on Halloween. He was Wolfman Jack.
Was he really?
I mean, he had a wolf's.
A wolf.
Yeah. I just call him Wolfman Jack because he had a lumberjack.
Do you know who Wolfman Jack was?
He was a murderer, wasn't he?
No, man, radio DJ. Close.
No.
Yeah, Wolfman Jack.
But there's a story about Wolfman Jack though. It's like English. What?
No, you're thinking somebody else.
Maybe I am.
Werewolf. No, Wolfman Jack was a radio DJ back in like the 70s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Wolfman Jack, babies. He did. That's how he sounded. Like, hey, coming up right now, we're gonna play the Beatles. Yeah, it's funny. Hey Jude. We'll be right back with Wolfman Jack.
Oh shit! Okay,
that's how he sounded. Okay. Yeah, people loved him, and he had like this goatee with like silver in it, and he was like a big dude, you know.
You do that voice really well. I don't know,
man, Jack.
He does like the middle-aged black man voice. Like
that's a white guy.
But really,
Wolfman Jack was a white guy.
Why is that? Hey, Wolfman Jack, man.
Well, that's what people liked about him.
Okay,
because that he had a cool, like he had flavor. You know?
Okay,
he had flavor.
Okay, he had some soul.
Wolfman Jack had some flavor.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Because that's what people liked about Mitch Hedberg too. Is like, man, you remember Mitch Hedberg, the comedian? You ever see clips of him?
I think I've done a minute.
He did jokes like, my friend asked me if I wanted a banana. Oh no, a frozen banana. I was like, no. But then I thought I want a regular banana later. So yeah. What? I got an ant farm. Those fellas didn't grow shit. It's weird stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like
he has better ones. I can't remember, but anyway, they're all like one-liner, weird, twisted jokes. And but he had like long hair and wore amber glasses, and he talked like that. But he's a white dude. He just had a way of talking. It was kind of like if you just heard him, anytime somebody would try to explain one of his jokes to somebody who hadn't heard him before, they'd be like, "Oh, is he a black guy?" Nope.
He sounds. I would have thought so. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's funny you can attribute a voice to like your skin color. Like, yeah, he sounds white. No, he sounds black.
Nope. I always thought when I did morning radio, I would go in one time and be like, "Hey, yeah, all right, great. So we're gonna promote the show. Okay, yeah. How many breaks am I on? Okay, 2. Okay, great. And then they can introduce me. Yeah, call them home. And these are the dates. Okay, good. All right. And then they'd open the mic could be like, "Hey, what's up?" And just like change it,
switch flip mode on that.
This is my radio voice, and just
It's like being a rapper.
and see what they say.
It's like singers don't talk the way they sing. Like this is my artist voice. What are you talking about?
This is how it sounds. Yeah, man, we gotta look forward to coming out to the club, seeing the show. You know,
you know what I'm talking about.
This is how it sounds. This is me. You ain't seen my clips? I'm pretty funny. I'm real funny.
Yo, that voice is dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
Boy, I'm real funny.
I'll be on radio like that, and then they come out to the show and they be like, "Where's the dude we heard on radio?" That's a white dude up there.
Did you see that mother?
Up there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's
pretty good voice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You do it sometimes.
I take British voice too. So
Oh, yeah?
from like do British. Yeah, like I'm a British comedian.
Running on this.
You want to get going?
I know. Yeah.
Let's go get some work done.
God damn.
All right, you guys have a good day. We love you,
Hey.
no matter what they tell you. We still love you anyway, even if you didn't comment. Saeed, I'm so sorry about you having to live inside of a gym with sweaty weirdos. Good luck on that.
And their gym is packed too. Like, I mean, they've got like 70 people on the mats for class.
Yeah, they got a line
Like,
of people
God.
who want to live next to the laundromat.
Jeez. Fucking Pedigo, man. You guys are killing it. I love it.
Hey.
Wonder how.
Oh, you got the wrong line.
I did.
Dang, it's the first time you ever got caught up.
I'm thinking about John's verse because it's just always in my head. We wonder how we. I don't know why. It's such a good verse.
John's always in my head too. John Eaton, you're always in my head, baby.
Sounds like yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna comment back to these guys.
What do they say?
Ian, you suck. Ian, you suck.
Baby. Ian's on the mat the other night with his cast on, just walking around. He just walking around looking, helping
He's a
people out.
consultant.
Yeah, he's insane. He's a consultant. That's
He's a jiu-jitsu consultant.
You heard that?
Yeah. I go, this is really the best jiu-jitsu you've ever done is when you just stand there and talk about it. I was giving him all kinds of crap.
Damn.
I was like, wow, man. Yeah, I'm more afraid of you right now when you're not doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, like right now, your jiu-jitsu is black belt top tier, like the top.
The way you talk about it's real advanced.
I don't want to roll with you on the mats, but it's really advanced right now. Wonder how we made it.
So find us on Post Roll Podcast. Thank you to GJJSAV and possibly Friendship Coffee if they ever step up.
Hopefully, I mean, we just gotta go there. Yeah, just talk to them.
And thank you. Here's your line. And then thank you to what was the other one? Oh, Yerba Mate.
Yerba Mate. Guayaki. Yeah, grown in the mountains.
Charles Harriet, we love you. Thanks for always watching our podcast. And check out the Instagram. I'm going to start putting up the Shishota Pequeñas and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll even do some Instagram stuff. We should do it today. We'll do a post.
I'm down. And do a Tabby Timothy too.
Yeah, we'll do a Tabby Timothy. Yeah, go to Barefoot Comedy Podcast on Instagram. That's going to be all my stand-up kind of weird stuff. Yeah. And then my actual stand-up is CollinLive.com. Anything for you? Jules Nuclear?
Shout out. Go look me up on Instagram, Jules Nuclear. That's JOULEZNUKLEAR. Anyone that watches this, you can probably on Instagram.
No, that's okay. We're getting new people all the time.
But
Zaid's new.
If you haven't, though, and you're listening to this, sign up for Savannah Newbury 2021, November 20th. Let's go.
November 20th.
Yeah, let's pack it out.
In Savannah.
That's going to be major. Like, that's going to be huge. There's so many kids are competing and so many families are going to be there. Represent. And it's the first time I'm competing in like almost a year.
And we're having a show, a 10 p.m. show on the 20th at Front Porch Comedy on Victory Drive.
Shout out. Yeah.
10 p.m. show.
Cool. Okay.
That's a late night adult show, adults only. And yeah, man, it'll be me and Caleb Simon. So check it out. And we're out.
Peace.
That's it. And end stream. See you later, boners.